what would you say the various recipes for
Ah,
a true learning culture are?
so I love what you said about if you open the mistake, you realize that there is no dictator who goes, "Oh, you idiot!" And but there might be, and
Oh
if
yeah,
that dictator lives in your head, then the first step to managing the mistakes, or the first point on the recipe towards managing the mistakes in a better way, is to remove the dictator. And if it's in your head, then it needs to start with forgiveness and with acceptance that your worth as a person is beyond the fallibility that you have as a human. And so the first step of the uh, learned mistakes, or creative or positive, I wouldn't know how to call our cake. What would you call it?
oh, that's a tough question. I would call it Fred.
Fred, okay.
Because I don't know what to call the cake either. The learning culture cake. I mean
The
the
learning culture cake. I love it. I love it. Yeah. So the first step on that recipe is ensure dictators aren't in the room. And if you are a leader, remove the dictator hat. And
that's a big ingredient, right?
yeah, no leaders can be leaders if there are dictators in the room. And you can't be calm, collected, and professional if in your head you have somebody who's insulting you and who's telling you that now you will lose everything you were working so hard to build. So if this happens, then the first thing you need to do is calm down and talk to that voice in your head, because you are more than the sum of your mistakes. You are more than what you do or what you can't do. And you deserve the place at the table, no matter how many mistakes you make, because we all make mistakes.
Oh
As
yeah. So if you have this dictator in your head, so,
Mhm.
people get very frustrated with themselves for making mistakes and they dwell on it far too long. How can you how can you remove that?
So I think it is important to go through a set of phrases. Or we can actually include it in the article. You guys, if you're watching this, somewhere there should be the link or the list of things that you should be telling yourself to remove the dictator, and to be able to tackle your mistakes in a way that will not only will make you feel good, but will help others see that you have the confidence to own your mistakes. And this is something that people admire in others, I think, and want to learn from, as we both realize in this conversation, right? That we both learn from other people how to be more forgiving,
Absolutely.
and how to move to the next step faster. So this is it. First step, remove the dictator from the kitchen. Second step, kitchen being either your head or the meeting room. Because if there is somebody who's very, very upset, or who is insulting others, or who is reacting to the mistake out of the fear that they might, have to deal with first, then they shouldn't be there either, I think.
No, I completely agree. I mean, we've said it right. I mean, mistakes, they have, number one, mistakes happen. Everybody makes mistakes.
Okay.
Okay. Our end goal is to reduce the possibility as much as possible for mistakes. And how can we do that? Well, by learning from them, by understanding why they happened, how they happened, and using that to create a better work environment, whatever that means. So better technology, better procedures,
Solutions, yeah.
better, yeah, I mean, whatever. And to be able to do that, we need to embrace our mistakes and not be afraid of them, but to understand the value of them.
I love what you said, because the word embrace, I see it not as a metaphor here. I see it as a recipe for how close you need to be with your mistake. To embrace something, right, means to hug it.
Yeah.
So hug your mistake. as in look at it very closely, hold it. But in order for you to be able to do that, I'm sorry because I keep going back to make sure there are no dictators in the kitchen, because you can't do it if you're terrified.
Of course not. I mean, this is the difference. The dictator doesn't hug the mistake.
No.
The dictator throttles the mistake, and it's so wrong. It's just
I even see
no benefit.
I see it with even more physical distance. I see it more as a kick, you just kick it under the rug somewhere, and or throw it through the window. And we have this expression in English, right, about throwing the baby with the bathwater. And this is exactly what could happen if you decide that you don't want to look at your mistakes. You're throwing away a very, very important lesson, because there is improvement in that bath. In that bath.
A lesson learned. You're throwing out a lesson, which is interesting, because how much money do companies spend on learning? And here we have free learning. It's for free. It's incredible,
And you can't avoid it because the mistake was already made. So throwing the baby
Would you stop throwing babies away, please?
Well, change the proverb.
Metaphorically speaking. Metaphorically speaking.
Well, there is nothing you can do about the mistake. That particular one.
Yep, done, happened.
It's in the past. So by not looking at it, you are not removing it. And you are doing nothing to prevent it from happening. But you only fully grasp how positive this scenario is once the mistake happened, if you are calm. And if you can, almost as if you were a child who made a mistake, you come to yourself and you go, okay, I didn't want it to happen. I'm terrified now. I'm scared. I'm okay. So now let's first try to calm down, realize that it's not going to, no matter how catastrophizing the voice in my head is, it's not going to destroy what I was working for. And it already happened.
There's nothing I can do about it.
So the next step on the recipe is explore it. Embrace it, hug it, project it on the wall for everybody to see. Because even if it sounds far-fetched, terrifying, I think, what do you think of a person who does that with their own mistake?
Who projects it on the wall?
And goes, you people, I made a mistake. This is what I did. This is what I should have done. This is the tool that I used incorrectly, or this is the solution that I should have applied, but I didn't.
Well, I think it's amazing, because if you think about it, that person, the person who projects their mistakes, who shouts out about them, this is what I did, is creating an opportunity for improvement. So, the same person who makes 10 mistakes in 1 year can be the person who presents 10 solutions to eliminate particular mistakes going forward. 10 solutions in a year. 10 ideas that can improve your company in a year.
Yeah, there is.
How cool is that?
There is a cost because you made mistakes. But these lessons wouldn't be coming for free either. So there's always a cost to a lesson. You already paid it because the mistake has been made. So you might as well get the best, but get your money worth.
Get your money's worth from it.
Oh, Ed, thank you so much for meeting me and talking about it. I loved it.
It's my pleasure. I'm always happy to try to convince people that mistakes happen. There's nothing we can do about it, and hiding them or being ashamed of them, I don't understand that anymore. I used to. Frustration about a mistake, of course, that's human, that's natural. That means you are a relatively normal person, if that exists, such a thing exists.
That you might be human.
You might just be human. So yeah, of course you get frustrated. But both from a personal point of view and a professional point of view, the really great thing to do is to look at it, analyze it, understand why it happened, put something in place to stop it from happening again. That's cool. That's cool. Really cool. Yeah.
Oh, loved it.
Okay,
Thank you.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Thank
See you
you.
soon.
See you soon.
Bye.